Let's discuss the most enjoyable way of getting below 10% body fat. A lot of people miss out on having an actual great experience when losing weight. Even though I've been really busy and spent less time at the gym, once I got my mindset locked on having a less than 10% body fat, my current weight loss journey has been by far my most enjoyable one. The final stage of getting lean, which is getting rid of that stubborn lower belly fat, is the hardest. And contrary to popular belief, this is not something you can spot reduce no matter how many sit-ups you do. Instead, I want to share with you the same tricks I used for getting below 10% body fat, making cardio fun and still eating like a king. The first thing that comes to people's mind when thinking about burning a lot of calories is cardio. To me, too much cardio becomes boring and it can even negatively impact your strength training routine. Now, strength training is the most important workout style when you want to burn fat while maintaining your muscle mass. This is something we discussed in a previous video. To make my cardio routine more enjoyable, I mix in skateboarding. And a bonus with this type of cardio routine is that you can always do a few tricks along the way. And skateboarding is something I grew up with. So now I'm challenging you, what kind of a sports activity did you enjoy when you were younger that could function greatly as a cardio workout? As mixing up your cardio routine can significantly increase your motivation, at least it did to me. Another option for you could be a brisk walk. And before you ask it, yes, walking is a type of cardio. It's about the calories you burn. And what is the fun part here? Well, enjoy the scenery. And I really enjoy walking for weight loss because afterwards I don't feel like my appetite has increased as much as compared to running, where I afterwards feel that my hunger has increased and therefore I need to reward myself with food. Compared to running, you don't have to recover from walking, and that's why it doesn't interfere with your strength training routine. Now, I'm not saying stop running altogether, but what I'm saying is plan ahead your week. What is your ratio? How much do you do running versus strength training? We all have 24 hours per day, 7 days in a week, at least last time I checked. Most importantly, your training routine should be supported by a great diet. A great diet is the most important building block for fat loss. Today we are being bombarded with don't eat this, eat that. No, be on a vegan diet. No, be on a ketogenic diet. Oh, you can't eat red meat. Do intermittent fasting. I mean, the options are endless. And then you have this guy promoting you the next best thing. So what do I want to promote to you? Well, we have to look at the big picture. First of all, this year I stopped labeling food healthy versus unhealthy because I felt like it's really counterproductive to do this type of labeling, making me feel guilty when I wanted to have a great time in the weekend and I slipped a little bit with my diet. And is eating a hamburger or a pizza once or twice per week gonna mess everything up? Well, not necessarily, because it really comes down to doing the basics well most of the time. So I focused on most days eating 25% less than I burned. And that's what people mean when they say that you should be eating at a calorie deficit. And I made sure to do the same in the weekend, eating at a calorie deficit even though the food composition wasn't as clean. If you have a smartwatch, it's really handy to get a baseline on how much you burn per day so you can then compare that data to how much you consume food per day. Now, I recommend you to have a moderately high protein intake per day, as this is not just the most important macronutrient for maintaining your muscle mass, but it's also the most satiating one, which means it satisfies you completely so you can't eat anymore. Basically, what it boils down to when eating right, no pun intended, don't eat too much, don't eat too little, eat just enough, or as we say in Swedish, lagom. Personally, when I made up my mind to really get below 10% body fat, it was a lot easier to focus on eating at a calorie deficit together with enough protein intake per day. Things started really to fall into its place where I started making better choices, ultimately having a much more enjoyable time on my weight loss journey. So calories in, Once I did these choices, it was much easier to let go of the simple carbohydrates found, for instance, in pasta. Instead, I replaced them with complex carbohydrates and fiber, for instance, found in quinoa or in many vegetables. And that's the point here. Once you start getting the ball rolling in the right direction, it will be so much easier for you to make the right choices, as you won't have as many cravings left. And that's the point here. Once you start to get the hang of it, you will start to get the ball rolling in the right direction, and you will have less cravings of those sweet things, for instance, found in fast food. So, calories out. Once we had in check the most important part for fat loss, which is enjoying the calories in a better way by making better food choices in our daily life, it was the role of how to do more enjoyable cardio and its relation to strength training, which is also really important to get right. So make sure you check out the video that pops up at the end of this one. And now that you know the meaning of the Swedish word lagom, you know I'm not hating on cardio, or that you should be skipping running altogether, or that you should be eating a lot of fast food. Instead, you know it's about the big picture, eating at the calorie deficit and eating enough protein. And you don't have to feel too guilty if you slip and eat once in a while a pizza or a hamburger. I mean, remember to enjoy life, at least I know I am. Smash the like button if you found this video valuable, and remember to watch the video on strength training's relation to cardio, and I'll see you guys in the next video.